Hello students, so I wanted to have a quick discussion here about worldview. This is important when it comes to studying history because as a student of history, you should always go into your study unbiased. By that I need to make sure that by that I mean you need to make sure you check any unconscious or conscious biases that you have at the door when you're doing research into history. If you go in with a preconceived outcome to your historical research will not be accurate. It will be tainted with bias, and it will not be useful to any other historian because of that. That is why, as a historian, it is always best to go into to approach any new subject you're studying with zero bias or zero conclusions that you've already drawn as to where you want your research to go. Instead, you're going to let the source material take you where it takes you. You probably will have some general idea as to what you're going to be studying and what you're trying to find out, but you're going to go in and you're going to ask an intellectual question and study it. The reason why I talk about this is that every historian, every student, every person on earth has a different worldview. Everything in this world, everything you've done in your life has shaped your worldview. Me too. I can never say that I'm 100% unbiased in anything that I do because I've had a complex complex upbringing, just like everybody else has. So for example, since I like to use myself, since I'm here, I was born and raised in Iowa until I was in middle school. So I grew up in a very, very small town. That has changed in how I view the world. I moved to Utah when I was just entering into high school. So again, that shapes my worldview when you're looking at where I was raised from both those fronts, in the Midwest and then into the West. When I was 19 years old, I joined the United States military. I was in the Air Force. I was in during September 11th. So again, is that going to create a different worldview for somebody who was in the service comparative to somebody who was not serving in the military at the time? Yes, it's going to create a unique worldview. I was deployed multiple times. I've been deployed everywhere from South Dakota to Utah to Las Vegas, all the way over into Afghanistan. So does that again shape my worldview? Yes, it does, because I have lived experiences within those regions. What I want you to understand is that all these different little things that I've just discussed and talked to you about have all influenced how I view the world. Now, when I'm doing my research, do I let those things seep into my research? If I am a good historian, I do not. And that's what I want you to realize and understand as you're doing your research throughout this course, okay? When you are writing about something in a discussion question, when you are creating a video, do not bring personal bias and personal views into your work. Instead, I want you to bring history into it, okay? Make sure you find sources. Make sure you're using primary sources. Primary sources are those sources that come from first-hand accounts. That would be like a journal, newspaper, a reporter, letter, something along those lines are going to be your key sources. Then you can back up your research with secondary sources. Those would be research that has been done by other historians, okay? So make sure that you understand and you know the concept and understand what worldview is when it comes to the study of history and how you view history, okay?